Hello everyone, this is update 4 in my series of carnivore success at 62, and I only make mention of the fact that I'm 62, soon to be 63, just to show that older people, shouldn't give up, should have heart. But this could be my most important update yet. Now, I haven't got Mick with me today. If you've been following the series, my mate Mick is... his results are tremendous. So much quicker than mine. So when we next do an update with Mick, you wait till you see the difference. It's incredible. As for me personally, I'm still at 94 kilos, and I've been there for, I'd say, quite a few weeks. Like, say, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6. But I'm not worried about it anymore because I can see other changes. And I'll tell you a bit about that. But what I'm understanding, I can speak with some authority now. I've got to be, say, 7 months, 8 months in. So now over that time, I've got a lot of advice, and a lot of it I've looked at, but I haven't followed. It's just been too disparate, But what it's told me is we're a lot more individual than you think. For instance, with the food. Now, I've been doing a fair bit of research, and I'll tell you something, carnivores, fruitarians, vegetarians, they all report very similar results to the ones I talk about. Now, it's making me believe, it's leading me to think, there's not as much about what you eat as what you don't eat. And we've all got some things in common that we don't eat. And, we don't have soft drink, we don't eat a lot of bread, we don't, have a lot of processed food, or none in my case. So it is really a lot to do with what we don't eat. Now, the beauty of the carnivore diet as I see it, because I started doing this for weight loss, and the beauty of the carnivore diet is not feeling hungry. And that is really the key. When you feel hungry, you give in. But there's a lot of other things happened. Like, I talked in the first update about how I was following Jordan Peterson's program and his daughter about eating the meat, and he's got himself down to just steak. Now, I thought at the time that was a bit radical, but I'll tell you what, 90% of the meals I eat are either steak, like rib fillet steak, or salmon. Now, I'm even leaning more now towards the salmon, because I can notice a difference in what I eat. I notice how I behave differently when I eat differently. And I'm leaning more towards the fish side of it. So what it's telling me is we're really individual. What works for me might not work for you. It might. But once we've got that common ground established, these are some things that we all agree on. From that point on, it's really up to us. And the longer this goes on, the more it's talking to me about food itself. Like, I believe now I'm using food for sustenance. I'm not using it, I'm not getting pleasure so much out of it. Now, that is a lot of the problem because, we have shows on TV like MasterChef, and I've seen some of the American ones, and the food all looks delicious and tasty and everything, but the focus has shifted from sustenance to pleasure. Now, I think I've got rid of that because you don't get a lot of pleasure out of eating the same food all the time. Nevertheless, I'm feeling so much better. This is the way I am today is so much better than it was when I was carrying an extra 26 kilos. Now, I've made a few notes, as usual, to try and keep me on track. But a few of the other things I've done. Now, after, like a month ago, I said, I'm stuck at 94 kilos, so I thought, well, I'll start exercising. And I'd already started doing some weights because I wanted to have, better arms and better shoulders and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing. For the first probably 8 to 10 weeks, it was a struggle. Oh no, you know, I've got to do weights today. Oh, it's Thursday, I've got to do weights. Then overnight almost, I started looking forward to doing it. So I had an opportunity, I had an invitation really to give up at any point up to that sort of 10, 12 week mark, and all of a sudden it became a pleasure. Now, I was still, after all that, I was still on the 94 kilos, and I thought, well, I'm not doing cardio, or much cardio, because I don't know whether I'm lazy or just didn't like it, but I thought, no, I'm going to have to start some cardio, so I started going for a bit of a walk. Now, what I did, I'm in Mackay, which is, we've got a great botanical gardens here, and there's about 8 kilometres of walking track. So I thought, well, I'll go down there, and I'll be honest with you, I went for the first week, every day or every second day, where I couldn't, you know, we've had a lot of rain lately, but, and really, I'll tell you, you start off, the first 30 metres is pretty good, and then, you know, all of a sudden you're dragging one foot after another. Now, having said that, on Sunday, which is only 2 days ago, I walked 5 kilometres. It's close to 6. But again, it took weeks of that. And all of a sudden, I'm looking forward to it. So the key, we all know it. You know, you've heard all the truths in life that I've heard of. And one of them's, like, you've got to persevere. You know, persistence is the key. But how often do we actually put it into practice? And this is what I'm learning. Like, I've had opportunities to give up walking, opportunities to give up doing the weights, opportunities to go off my diet, but I've just stuck with it. Now, I don't know another time in my life I've done this. But when I do, it's sort of like, you know, the old saying, it's always darkest just before the dawn. And that's how it is with me. Right when I'm on the point of giving up and saying, oh, this is too much, this is too hard, you know, it takes up too much time. Right when I'm on that point is when I have the breakthrough. And I don't know if it's a mental thing, you know, oh, you've suffered enough, now you're going to hit the breakthrough, or you just get in the habit, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the results that count. And so I've tried all these things that I never did for years and years. I haven't done exercise or weights or diet, or, well, I've struggled with diet, but, and I just pick a few little projects, and all of a sudden everything pays off if you persevere. So that's the key. You know, perseverance is the issue. And the other thing is, like I just said, the minute you look like giving up is when the breakthrough comes. And it's always darkest just before the dawn. So that's the major message. Now, I have had a lot of advice, and but by and large I wanted to do it my way, because the advice has been as disparate as, you know, you need to eat a lot of this, to, you know, you should drink half a glass of celery juice, and, you know, you got to flush your kid. You know, if I'd taken all the advice, I'd be a raving lunatic, because you'd never really know what it was that made the difference. There's too big a time gap. So I've just relied on my own feedback and been very wary of it and very aware of it. So that's all been tremendous. I just checked a couple of things. So I guess the message from me today is, I feel so much better, but it's taken a while, and my life's changed. I'm eating differently. I'm now exercising a lot more, like a lot more than I used to, and the key has been perseverance. So that's the major message I've got for you today. Now, next time I'm here, I'll have Mick with me, and he's really, you know, I said I wanted to influence people, and I count Mick as a success. It's been great, but I'd like to influence more people. You know, if you're, especially if you're an older Australian, or an older person, older world citizen, let's put it that way, don't give up. There's, you know, you'd be amazed at how tough you are and how strong. I never thought I was particularly strong, But I am, and I've got another challenge, and I need to talk about that next time. I won't go into it now. But I'll leave it at that. I'll just summarise it. We're all different. The vegetarians, fruitarians, whatever, have report very similar results. They're not wrong. Neither am I. And I'm not right, you know. But I know what's working for me. And perseverance. And the breakthrough comes. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Yeah, like I said, I'll have Mick next time. And it's been a real pleasure to go through this, and I'm not finished, and I've got more to show you. And I've got other projects. But have a go. That's all I can say. Persevere if you're trying to lose weight. And that's basically it. So, look, thanks very much. I'm feeling great. And I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.